Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Doctors Are In show. I'm your host, Dr. Rose Wilkerson, and I'm a certified life coach, spiritual teacher, coming to you live from Berkeley, California. The Doctors Are In show is a show where we discuss and take your questions on anything and everything psychic or spiritual, hypnosis, meditation, energy healing, psychic development, and so much more. And joining me today, as always, is my fabulous co-host. He is a tarot advisor, numerologist, and life coach. And he's also the executive producer of the Psychic Talk Network radio show. So here he is, live from hot Tucson, Arizona, Dr. Dax Carlisle. Say hello, Dax.
I'm melting. Oh, my God.
How are you surviving the heat?
Not bad. Actually, it's a little bit more endurable today. So I'm actually out on the patio. I've been doing the shows inside, but I like being out on the patio. And it's creeping, around 100 degrees, but there's this slight breeze that makes it tolerable. Plus, I have my ice water. Got to have the ice water.
Yeah, it may be melted by the time the show ends.
I have it in a thermos, so the ice will stay formed for. I've gone like 4 hours out here with it, not
really?
even melting. It's amazing. I love it. Yeah. Well, when you're doing radio or anything where you're talking, singing, what have you, you should always have water near you, even if you're inside, of course. But I do the ice water outside, and when it gets hot, I put it in the thermos, and it's nice. Absolutely. So here we are on another Friday. We actually have a topic today. We've been doing a lot of open line shows, but we're going to talk about connecting with your true self. I don't think we've ever actually talked about this topic, but everything we talk about on the show really connects in with this anyway. And it came up on a recent show, and I was like, Dr. Rose, we have to do a whole show on this. Well, it's not really a whole show. It's actually not that big of a topic. I really want to just get out an exercise from the spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle. Some people pronounce it Eckhart Tolle. On finding your true self. It's actually like the first step, and we'll talk more about that. And, we don't talk enough about meditation, and that's going to connect with this a little bit, and it's going to be fun. But we are open lines, every Friday, Saturday, we always have open lines. Actually, all of our shows, now that I think about it, they all do open lines. Yep. And we offer, some kind of readings on every show. I mean, a lot of them, it's tarot. On the Wednesday show, Catherine Hahn has moved Compassionate Light to Wednesdays, in case you guys didn't know. And she's an angelic channel. Once a month, my co-host on Tarot Today Radio on Saturdays, once a month, actually the first Saturday of each month, Mary does her own show called There's a Rock for That. And so she's talking about crystals and everything. So she does crystal readings. And, so that's different, too. I know Sharona on Sundays, she's on the second and fourth Sunday of the month with her show, Magic Universe. She does tarot, but she'll also throw in other kinds of things besides tarot. And on this show, we do tarot as well. We do numerology. In fact, we should do the tarot and numerology of the day while I'm thinking about it here. But first, let's give out that call-in number because we are a live call-in show. We want you to call in. Remember, open line, so anything that's on your mind. But you can also ask questions about all those different things that Dr. Rose mentioned in the beginning of the show there. Between all of us, we have pretty much everything covered, you know. So if you have questions about meditation and mantras, hypnosis, emotional freedom technique, energy healing, Reiki, numerology, tarot, psychic development, you know, we pretty much have it all covered. And you can call in for a mini reading, too. We'll do some life coaching with you. We'll do tarot, pull some cards. If it's applicable, we can throw numerology in there. Okay, so give us a ring, 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, make sure you press 1 on your dial pad. And if you're Skyping in, of course, you have to go to the Skype app, open the dial pad, press 1. But, yeah, press 1 as soon as you get through at 714-816-4628. Another way you can connect with us is to join us on the Tarot Guild chat room on the Tarot Guild website. The Tarot Guild has been the international organization for tarot lovers, students of tarot, and professional tarot readers since 2004. 16 years I've been doing this. And,
wow.
Yeah, and for the anniversary, we only had a web presence. We were local in San Diego, and then we went on the web and built the first website in 2009, and it officially went live, although we had hundreds and hundreds of people on it already. We officially went live in January of 2010. So we just had our 10-year anniversary. We built a whole brand new website. I call it Facebook for tarot. Yeah, it's got all the same features as Facebook, Dr. Rose. It's got the private messaging and the activity feeds and groups and forums and, you know, everything you find on Facebook, but none of the negative stuff. It's all tarot all the time. Well, the Tarot Guild is the sponsor of our shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the weekends here on Psychic Talk Radio. Yeah. And what's really great, we created this website. It's 100% free to join the website. You just go over to thetarotguild.com, and you can click Join the Guild, or at the top of the page, the same both on your phone or on the computer. If you go to the top of the page, you're going to see a link that says Sign Up. Just click that, and it's really convenient. You're able to sign up with actually, let me look at that real quick. Okay, so you can sign up with Facebook, Twitter, your Google account, your LinkedIn account. You can also use an email address and a password as well. But it's so convenient. You can just click Facebook. It asks you a few questions. You upload a picture. You're required to upload a picture, a profile picture. And, you know, it takes a minute or two, and boom, you know, you're on the site. You can use all of those wonderful social networking features that we have there on the network. So come and join us and chat about tarot. We also have a group on Facebook with 6,300 members. Just search Tarot Guild on Facebook. There's also one for Psychic Talk Radio as well. That has a few hundred people on it, but our big one is 6,300 people on talking about tarot and related topics, numerology and such on Facebook. But really, you know, we're just getting going with this new website. We have a few hundred people on there, and we got 6,000 people on Facebook. So we want to get you all to come over to the new platform and start using it more. And it's free, so why not, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. I did want to mention that we have the Sizzling Summer Sale is still going on. We do this every summer, all summer, because it's kind of the slow time. Things kind of slow down in summer, and, you know, people are off doing other things. And so, of course, it's different this year with the health crisis, but, you know, I still felt the slowdown with the online stuff. And so we always do a big sale for the whole summer. And this year what I've been doing is I've been making it better like every few weeks or so. The sale, So, depending, we usually put up a sale. We just leave it up for 2.5 months or whatever. This year I've been doing, playing around with it, Dr. Rose, and right now it's, oh my God, it's sizzling. Let me tell you, I don't think we've ever done it this good. So you can go over to thetarotguild.com, and like I said, first thing you want to do is you want to get that free profile going. Get your free profile going. Click sign up. Get that taken care of, and then if you're new to tarot, you can enroll in my Tarot by the Numbers course. You'll see links on the page. When you go on the main page, you'll see the quick links. Join the guild, learn tarot, tarot certification, Tarot Today Radio, contact us. So they're big purple buttons. Just click Learn Tarot, and you click the Enroll button. It's going to automatically take like 40% off what we normally charge. We normally charge $78 to enroll, and that's the number of cards in the tarot deck. Yes, there is a reason why it's 78. Yeah, but right now it's 40% off. It's $47. I mean, we've never had it that low. Yeah, it's a $297 course that we regularly sold for years for $197 when it wasn't on sale. And then when we create this new website, I said, hey, you know what? We're going to discount it even more. We're going to go down to $78. So that's the normal price now is $78. But during the summer, right now, you can grab it for $47. You're going to click the enroll button. It's going to take you to the course group, which you can also access through groups on the site there. And it's going to come up with a subscribe button. Just click subscribe, and you can sign up for $47. Now, if you're already a professional reader, you're thinking about, joining the Tarot Guild, in today's atmosphere, it's good to be certified, be the member of a professionals organization, so you have all those certificates and can show them to clients and put them on your website and so forth. So if you're a professional reader and you want to get certified, the first level of certification, CTR, Certified Tarot Reader at the Guild, is included with your membership. So on the website, click Join the Tarot Guild. Forgot that part. Join the Tarot Guild, and it's first going to talk about the free membership I said, about signing up where you get to use the website, the platform, all the features and everything. Below that, it's going to say premium membership, and it's going to list out all the benefits you get as a premium member, including the CTR Tarot certification is included in that. And that membership for a full year is also $78. I think it comes out to be like $6 a month or something like that. But for the summer sale, it's on sale for $47. That's right. It's already been discounted. You click Join Now. It'll take you to the premium members group, and you'll see the subscribe, and you just click subscribe, and you can sign up for 40% off, $47 right now, and become a premium member. Also, my readings are on sale as well. I've been having a great time with this, Dr. Rose, doing private sessions with folks. I just had one yesterday. We did the entire session on Facebook chat. We text. We didn't even bother to, she was trying to get a hold of me, and we finally connected with each other on Facebook Messenger, and we never even bothered to call or Skype or anything. Wow. We just started typing, and we did the entire reading on chat. And so I'm available to do private sessions by phone, on chat like that, on a Facebook call, on Skype, phone, you name it, Zoom call. We've got it all covered. And I'm taking $50 off my normal fee, Rose. It's normally $97, but, I kind of wanted to keep everything at the same price, the course, the membership with certification, my private readings, keeping everything at $47. So $50 off my normal rate right now.
That's a great deal. It really is.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. You can go to my page to get that. It's thetarotguild.com/Dax. It'll take you right over there, thetarotguild.com/Dax. You can book a private session for just $47. Also, my life coaching and hypnosis is also available. It's 25% off. I think that, which is normally $97 for 50 minutes to an hour session. I believe 25% off brings it down to, I'm going to say, around $72.50, something like that. That you'll find it on my page there. So if you want to work on goals, life coaching, some hypnosis, EFT, let's say you want to work on blocks, you got something blocking your success, maybe you're wanting to get rid of a phobia or a bad habit that you want to get rid of, anything along those lines, those sessions are on sale for you as well. tarotguild.com/Dax. Okay. So, if you come into the chat room, you can actually ask for a mini reading in the chat room or discuss the topic, and, you know, we'll mention on air what you're chatting about there in the chat room. Just click chat on thetarotguild.com or open a new tab in your browser and type in thetarotguild.com/chat. And we actually already have a question from Sandy A. in the chat room already. So I thought we'd get that out of the way first, Dr. Rose, while we're waiting for people to call into the show here. Oop, got a big truck going by, Rose. Yep. Before we do that, though, real quickly, I want to just give the numerology of the day and the tarot card of the day. So the tarot card of the day is the big Enterprise truck going by there. Okay, the Page of Cups. So some common associations of the Page of Cups for those that are taking notes. It's gentle, kind disposition, reflective, poetic, quiet, artistic, intuitive, sensitive, beginning of relationships. Sometimes this is indicating, or a birth, or emotional or spiritual growth. Okay, so that's the card of the day, the Page of Cups. And the numerology of the day, the entire date, 7/10/2020, adds up to 12. 1 + 2 is 3. So it's that 3 energy of creativity and communication, which fits in perfectly with the Page of Cups, who is artistic. So it's saying, you know, get in touch with that side of yourself today. Look at how you express yourself, how you communicate, and try to express yourself through artistic endeavors. It's also a 1 day. It's the 10th. So 1 + 0 is 1. So that's about self. So this is ultimately, this whole day is about working on self, expression, communication, and so forth. So keep that in mind. That's the numerology of the day and the tarot card of the day, the Page of Cups. And go ahead and, you know, usually, you know, we think of other people and helping other people, and we neglect ourselves. Today's not the day to neglect the self. How's that, Dr. Rose?
That's great, and it goes with the theme, the topic of the show that we'll talk, that you'll be presenting a little bit later.
Oh, yes.
Getting in touch with your true self. Yeah.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. So the question we have in the chat room from Sandy, she says, find it again. Hi, Dax and Rose. If you will be answering questions during the show, I'd like to ask a question I had last week. I think I remember Sandy popping in on Mary's There's a Rock for That show last Saturday, and I sent the question to Mary, but her switchboard was lit up like a Christmas tree, and she just couldn't get to that. So we're going to do it today. Sandy says, could I please have a reading focused on my love life? I'm in my late 30s and single for years. Thanks. Okay.
I certainly can identify.
Yeah, jump in there. What'd you say, Dr. Rose?
No, I said I certainly can identify. Same boat, but I'm
Oh, yes.
older.
I think you and I have talked about that. It's like, hey, you might need to listen to this for Sandy. For
right.
So we're going to shuffle and pull some cards here. And, okay, so right off the bat, we're getting the Seven of Cups. And for those of you that are familiar, and for those of you that are not familiar, some common associations of the Seven of Cups is fantasy, illusion, quest, reflection, confusion, the inner life. That's the topic we're going to talk about today, too. The need to meditate on decisions or motives. Oh, there's meditation. Unrealistic expectations, dreams, choices, imagination. Okay, so right away, and the tarot is multi-layered, so I'm getting multiple levels of information from this for Sandy. As she says she's been single for years. I feel the frustration coming through. I feel the confusion. There may actually have been a time when there was the opposite. There was too many choices, because this card often comes up for me in this type of question, meaning, too many choices. We can have too many choices too, right?
I guess that's never been my experience, but that's what I hear.
Yes. But even more so is this fantasy and illusion. We are held down by our past experiences with relationships, and two things set up. There's the positive and the negative illusion. Okay, let's go with the negative illusion from the past is how we've experienced relationships before, and we set up a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so we're focusing on the lack. We're focusing on our experience with past relationships, and we're setting up an illusion of what relationships are all about when that's not true. Then there's the positive fantasies or illusion, but we're creating illusions, we're creating fantasies that are so idyllic no one could ever think, where it is, just almost unattainable. We're not being realistic. And the other thing is we're not really focusing on what we really want. We're focusing on this illusion or fantasy and trying to draw it in. And the universe is resisting that, you see. I feel this might be part of Sandy's issues around this. One thing to also look at is just the simple fact, whenever anybody tells me, I've been single for years, the first thing that pops in my head is that Einstein quote that we say on nearly every show, that definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if what you're, because it fits so many things that we do or don't do, Rose, so it's like if what you're doing or what you're not doing is not giving you what you want, you need to do something different. You need to change it up. Think outside of the box, And it's not like love isn't there. I mean, it literally is around the corner for Sandy. Look out what happens when we get past this illusion and perhaps make some different choices. Sandy makes some different choices, goes in some different directions, Dr. Rose. The first card that comes up is the World card. Oh, my God. It's the end of the major arcana in the tarot deck. It's the penultimate. It is completion and perfection, fulfillment, triumph, success, well-being, abundance, union,
Mhm.
Everything that Sandy is looking for, it's right there. Oh, by the way, it's card 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. What was the numerology of the day? 3.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And then the next 2 cards, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. Okay, so the next 2 cards really hit it home that successful relationship is like literally right there. The central focus card is the Page of Cups. What was the card of the day? The Page of Cups.
Wow.
That's
cool.
when
Those
synchronicities when synchronicities like this happen on our show, Dr. Rose, it's the tarot winking at us and the numerology. But yeah, I always say it's the tarot winking at us going, yep, this stuff really works. I mean, you shuffle the deck, there's, 100,000 possible combinations, and boom, the very central focus card of the whole thing is the Page of Cups. And as the central focus card, it's saying, hey, Sandy, it's here. It's like, if you turn the corner, there's what you're looking for. You're just not seeing it yet. And Sandy, oh, by the way, in the chat room, Sandy says, yes, been frustrated because I've been single for years. Okay. So obviously what you're doing is not leading to what you want, or perhaps what you're not doing. There may be things that you're not doing. Oh, by the way, that's coming up. And the card right next to the Page of Cups, Dr. Rose, is the Ace of Cups. Oh, my God. So the Page of Cups, one of the meanings of the Page of Cups is the beginning of relationships, and one of the meanings of the Ace of Cups is the beginning or essence of love, joy, inner beauty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, health, and a lot of different things, but we're focusing in on the love and the joy. So there's 2 cards indicating that it's right around the corner. You just need to do something different. The people you're hanging out with or not hanging out with, the places you're going or not going to, are not leading to what you want. You're not connecting. So you need to think outside the box and do something different. And the tarot does give us a clue on this. The very last card is the Hermit card, card number 9 in the major arcana. 9 is completion, the completion of the cycle, just as the World card is in numerology, 9. And the Hermit, okay, so the Hermit is standing there on the top of a slope, or you can think of it as the top of a mountain range, and there's snow. And he's shining his lantern of wisdom and truth. And he's facing the other 4 cards, shining his lantern. So obviously this is the tarot winking at us again and saying, Sandy, pay attention here. Love is literally there, and you have everything you need. You have the World card. The world is completely open to you. You need to get past the fantasy and illusion part. And I feel like there are you could benefit greatly from working with a practitioner to clear up some of these blocks and move towards your goal. That's another indication of the Hermit card, by the way. Counsel sought and taken. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what I think she has to do, Dr. Rose. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, ooh, my mouth is running, but my mind is blank or whatever. Or maybe my mouth is blank and my mind is, I don't know what I'm doing here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I was thinking about how, when we talk about the law of attraction and how like attracts like, and how you really need to change your vibration. And one of the things that happens, we're beings of time, and we think about often what we've done in the past, what we've experienced in the past, or even what we haven't experienced, and the kind of feelings and thoughts that we have about that. And what you're doing is that at the moment that vibration is being sent out. You're really repelling love. I know because I do it all the time. And I know that about myself. So what you want to do is to shift that vibration and to really change that vibration. And I recommend also in the meantime, and I'm not usurping any kind of professional help or expertise, but you can chant 2 mantras that would be really helpful for you. And one is gum. Gum is the obstacle removing mantra.
I knew you were going to say gum.
Yeah.
See, you're training me.
Because
I'm finally learning this stuff. It only took years.
Right. So what she's doing is that she's really reliving the past over and over and over and over again. And and that can be, it's like a record player. It's like a record player stuck. Remember those old LPs with the needle and everything, and it gets stuck in a groove or a scratch gets on it, and it starts repeating the same thing over and over. It'll drive you nuts. So as Dax was saying, there's an obstacle. You have some obstacles that are preventing you from moving forward in the area of love. And so you want to chant gum 108 times. It's a very short mantra. You could do that in a matter of 3 minutes, really, or 4 minutes, depending upon how what kind of length of time you want to add to your chanting session. The next one I would chant is Kleem, Kleem, or some people spell it Klim, and that's about attraction and love. And Kleem will help bring in the kind of love that you really want. You don't want to repeat the past or past relationships if you've had any. Most people do. You want something new and different. You want something that's more, I would say, in alignment with who you are. And so Kleem can help do that. Kleem is a very powerful mantra, so you got to be careful, because sometimes I've had people who have chanted Kleem, and they've either had their ex call back that they didn't want to call back, or people were kind of attracted to them that they, that they weren't the kind of quality person, that they were looking for. You have to envision the kind of person you're looking for in your love life. What are you guys doing together? What are your interests? What are the things that you connect with? What are you, what does the love feel like? What is it, what does the togetherness feel like for the both of you? And focus on that energy. That is what you want to attract. And so you can do that. You can visualize that and try to feel as much of the emotion as you can in order to attract that to you. And then do your Kleem chanting session 108 times. You got to raise your vibration. And it may seem like it's a lot. It's really not a lot to do all of this, especially chanting gum is really quite easy. But with Kleem, you're going to have to get into what is it that you want to feel? What is it that are you guys doing together? Get into all of the W questions, the what and the when and or whatever, and then get into the feeling of that. And then you can chant Kleem, Take about 5 minutes to visualize and feel that. You can do longer sessions if you want to, but 5 minutes does a world of good. It can help shift your energy. So you're not just focusing, I want love, Kleem, and whatever I experienced before. You don't want more of that. You want a leap, You're looking for something more than what you've experienced in the past. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, and I was hearing a lot of law of attraction in there, and it's like we could call Kleem the law of attraction love mantra. Because you're getting in touch with those feelings, you're visualizing it and doing the Kleem. And actually, what you just said, and I've got a couple other things for Sandy real quick because I forgot to tell her about the timing. I'll get to that in a second. But I just wanted to say that she could incorporate this with what we're going to talk about on the show today. And by the way, we're doing the show a little bit different today. We're taking this question. We're going to take some phone calls. We usually do the topic right away. We're going to do a little bit later. We also have the mantra of the week to do. We're going to try to squeeze all of this in. And what she can do with these mantras is make it part of the process that I'm going to talk about. It only takes 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. And so, right before you go to sleep at night or right away when you wake up in the morning, or both. You can sit down and just have some quiet time with yourself for 5 or 10 minutes, and you're going to be connecting with your true self, which is the topic. And then after that, you can do the gum and or the clean, and you're going to be setting up sacred space for yourself and taking some time just for yourself, okay? But I did want to mention 2 things. One thing is that the timing card was actually the Hermit, 9. And so if you start this practice, Sandy, and also I'm going to give you some information on, I said see a practitioner. I'm going to give you some information on that right now too. This can clear up and start moving forward for you in to 9 weeks. It could take up to 9 weeks. Or it could happen as fast as 9 days. Mm-hmm. So that's the timing there, 9 days to 9 weeks. That's the time frame. How quickly it happens is entirely up to you. It has to do with how quickly you get in touch with your true self, how quickly you get in touch with the visualizations and the feelings surrounding what you really want, and go through the process of the practice I'm going to mention now, which is EFT. I'm going to suggest emotional freedom technique for this because it's the best thing for clearing out the blocks. And I do have a colleague that specializes in this, specializes in love, specializes in finding your soulmate, so to speak. Okay, and his name is Stefan Gonick. So his last name it's spelled like Go Nick. Okay, so it's Stefan, not with the PH, it's with the F. So it's Stefan. And by the way, I'm going to just copy and paste this into the chat room for Sandy and anybody else that wants to see it. thetarotguild.com/chat. And what I want you to do is I want you to go to YouTube. Go over to YouTube. You're going to type in Stefan's name, Stefan, Stefan, and Gonick. Gonick is actually how you pronounce it, I think, but it's Gonick. So just type in Stefan Gonick, EFT practitioner, and his channel will come up. And he can subscribe to his channel. Go over there, check out the videos. There are tons of videos all about EFT, but a lot of them are specific, Dr. Rose. They're about finding love. And you can find his website through the YouTube channel. And, you might want to actually get in contact with him and do some private sessions with him. But I suggest, starting off with this practice that we've been discussing, connected with your true self and the mantras, and then watching his YouTube videos and going through some of it on your own, because it's very easy to do. He teaches you in some of the videos how to do the tapping, and he also teaches you about removing blocks to love, setting yourself up to find love, and so forth. It's a great resource. Stefan Gonick, EFT practitioner on YouTube, folks, and that goes for everybody listening. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that helped everybody out there, and we're going to take some phone calls here. And by the way, it's a real quiet Friday, so if you want to get in, go ahead and call now, because we're going to get right to you. 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. Area code 919 has been waiting the longest since before the show started. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kay, and I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, Kay, what's going on?
Well, I have a lot of things in my head. But if I had to pick, can you give me some guidance around work? There's several little things, but outside of work. I'm not live all the time. Just trying to see It's new opportunities and growth, and just wondering how things will be for the end of the year.
Well, again, on the show we tell everybody it's entirely up to you. It's not reading and predicting it's not reading and predicting the future and telling you that, Kay, this is what's going to happen. Instead, what it is, it's completely up to you. New opportunities are always there for everyone. They're always there. Yeah. Same thing with relationships and stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to put your line on hold for a minute because I don't know if you were hearing that, Dr. Rose. I'm getting a lot of background noise. Okay, so we're going to put Kay on hold for just a second, but it's always there. And what really holds us back is, we don't want to think outside the box. We don't want to step out of our comfort zone. We don't want to take the leap, which, by the way, is the card that shows up when I pull cards for you, the Fool card. Taking the leap of faith, a new beginning, new adventures, new life cycles, leaping off into the unknown, being playful about it. If things aren't going right for you where you're working now, if you're working a muggle job or, whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't matter really. You can make things better there where you are now, or you can find a new opportunity elsewhere. Or what we like to say on this show, right, Dr. Rose, is become an entrepreneur. Start your own business. You already have – everybody listening to us has tons of skills and abilities that you can create value around and provide for other people either by teaching, selling a course, one-on-one practicing as a life coach, success coach, business coach, a consultant. If you have a lot of knowledge in a specific area, you can set yourself up as a consultant. And all it is, the step one is you need to figure out, and this is for everybody, and we're sounding like a broken record, Rose, because we say it on almost every show, that you got to find what is the problem that you are solving for another individual that connects to your passions in life, what you really love. It's you could do whatever for money, but if you really want to be successful, success doesn't come the way people think it does. It actually comes from following your passion. And if you can connect these three things, if you can connect your passion with your skills and abilities that you already have and solve a problem for somebody else, you've now created value for another individual, a lot of money. So that is that's my suggestion always to everybody. Now, not everybody is comfortable and ready to do this. They might have some life blocks. They might need some EFT, so do some tapping around this in order to be able to go there. But in the meantime, even if you're going to a different job, between now and the end of the year, man, there's tons of opportunities out there. The central focus card is the Five of Pentacles. It's a card of redundancy, loss of financial stability, worries, poverty. Literally, they're out in the cold. One person looks like he's on crutches. He looks like he's got the bell around his neck that they used to have when you had oh God, it just popped out of my head, Dr. Rose. What was the oh man,
I'm not sure.
I hate it when it's right there on the tip of your tongue, and oh my God, what is that they used to have in the Middle Ages so much? Maybe somebody will type it in the chat room for me here. It'll come to me, but he's out there, and there's a lady. It appears she's like trying to huddle and bundle up. They're walking through the snow. Right behind them, they're not seeing it. If they would only look, they'd see the stained glass window with the Five Pentacles. It looks like it could be a church. So safety, warmth, help. Reminds me of the Four of Cups, another card like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm getting is the tarot made this the central focus because it's saying that, okay, Kay, you're too focused on this. The issues at work, the loss or lack. Okay? You need to be focusing on what you really want. Whether it's creating value for somebody else and creating your own business, or a different job that has different attributes to it that you would prefer. You need to figure out what that is. Write this down on a piece of paper. Meditate over it. Create a visualization around it. Get into the feeling state. How great would that feel? People are paying you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to solve a single issue for them. And by the way, about the single issue, the rest of the cards in this spread, Dr. Rose, are cards with a ton of swords. I'm not even going to go into it. There's no need. It's like swords are thoughts. They're thoughts and Kay is held back by her own thoughts and ideas. The very first card is the Queen of Swords in the spread. The Queen of Swords has a single sword, a single thought or idea. That's what you need to do, Kay. You need to find the single thought, idea, one huge problem that you solve for other people and create that value. That's what you really need to be doing. And other attributes of the Queen, she's very independent and analytical. Independent, that goes back to, being an entrepreneur. And analytical, she is analyzing this. She's not coming from the feeling space. In other words, the Five of Pentacles is actually coming from the feeling space, the feeling of lack, or negative things surrounding your job or what have you, the desire to move on but feeling stuck, that kind of thing. That's the feeling space. Let's get logical about this. And it's funny, Rose, because we tell people all the time, get out of your head and into your heart and feel it.
Right.
Well, there are certain circumstances where the opposite is true, and this is one of them, where you have to think your way out of this. You're going to get into the feeling space later on, okay? You're going to do the creative visualization. You're going to get into the feelings of how great it's going to be to have your own business or to have a better job that has the attributes you want. You're going to get into that feeling space, but that's later on. Right now you need to figure out logically, get rid of all these thoughts and ideas that are holding you back and find that one thought or idea. And the last card, by the way, is an 8 card, which is abundant, and it's also the timing card. This can happen to you in as quickly as a week, 8 days to entirely up to you. So I hope that helped you out. Kay, we got to move on here. But yes, you can add something, Dr. Rose. Go right ahead.
Yeah. So, Kay, your mind is a lot more powerful than you think it is, and I don't mean just your thoughts or your intellect or whatnot. Before you go to sleep, I'm just going to say this really quickly. Before you go to sleep, I want you to envision and feel what it is that you desire in terms of your work. If you are disturbed with the people or if there's too much conflict and you want a more peaceful environment, envision that. If you are looking for a better job, a raise, imagine and get really specific. For example, your boss is coming up to you saying, you've been doing such a fantastic job. Doesn't matter what the boss's attitude is. It doesn't matter what he or she has done in the past. You've been doing such a great job. We're going to give you a raise and then you fill in the blank. Imagine that happening, or imagining an opportunity, a job opportunity coming to you. Maybe it's a friend who calls you, or maybe it's, you get this kind of mysterious call on the phone. Hi, we have your application, or we have your resume, and we think you'd be perfect for this job. And imagine the details that you want, the kind of job, the kind of environment you want to be in, how well you get along with the people around you, all of that. And if you want room to move up, you can do that. And you can do that in 5 minutes. You don't have to take a long time, but right before you go to sleep, I want you to take 5 minutes, right before that head hits the pillow and you close your eyes to get that rest. Imagine and feel what it is, and put all of that into the visualization. Don't worry about how crazy it may seem, or that has nothing to do with anything. Your power really is within your own mind and your own heart and your own being. You know, people don't really control it's not about your outside circumstances. It's about, you know, the creative aspect of you, the God or the goddess in you is really inside of you. So do that 5 minutes before you sleep, and you'll start to see things change. And just keep on doing it until things change. That's my advice.
That's right, which is great lead into the topic. Let's cover this real quickly for everybody and then go back to phone calls. Sure. Basically, we wanted to talk about this because, okay, we seek out the gurus and the self-help experts. We read the self-help books. We read the spiritual books, the sacred texts. We go to consultants and experts. We ask our family and friends. We look out there for the answers. And by the way, it doesn't matter whether it's what Kay's question was about, what Sandy's question is about. It's all the same thing. What's the one place, Dr. Rose, that we don't look?
To ourselves, our own spirit.
That's right.
Our true self,
ourselves, our true self. Yeah. So this is the why. We're going to get to the how in a second, but this is the why. This is the big why, because all the answers are right there. Everything we experience happens because we manifest it from inside ourselves. Most of the time it's unconscious. We don't realize that, we talk to you guys about the steps to manifestation and all this kind of, that's doing it on purpose, okay? But the law of attraction it's like gravity. It doesn't stop working because you're not consciously creating. So what does it do? You unconsciously create. That's right. But everything you experience, whether it's something you consciously want or even something you don't want, you're attracting into your life from inside of you. And so by doing these practices and getting in contact with your true self and realizing your true self, you start to get these realizations. One of the big realizations is what I just said. Everything we experience, we manifest.
Right.
And another big realization that you come to after doing this for a while, you start to figure out that the whole reason we're here is to experience. Now, we like to put labels on it, a negative experience, a positive experience. There's no such thing in reality. There's just experience. And that's why we're that's why we're here. And I do readings where I look into people's numerology and their tendencies and abilities, and do tarot card readings towards your life path and what would work the best for you, and looking for your purpose in life. The dirty little secret is that the purpose is what you decided. Now, yes, the numerology does reveal that you have certain qualities that is going to allow you to do better in a certain space than in another one. And then this other person has different qualities that they're going to do better in this than maybe in that. But in reality, you can make anything work. It's like when you're a little kid and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? You can do anything you want. You want to be an astronaut. You want to be a president of the United States. All those things. I want to be a fireman, Literally, you can actually do that. You can do anything. You can make anything your purpose. Now, there's a lot of clues. I mentioned numerology, and we can also use tarot to look into that. But the thing is that you've been dealing with this your entire life. It's your passions. What are you passionate about? what you're passionate about gives you a clue as to your purpose. Because following your passions is what gives us your greatest success. And, it's getting in your inner self and then doing other practices like the mantras right after it. And this only takes 5 or 10 minutes, folks. You don't have to contemplate your navel for an hour. That's where you're going to find the answers. And not only that, we know that we manifest our experiences from inside. So wouldn't you want to look inside and figure out the workings in there so you can manifest what you want? Because all your experience is coming from inside you. Wouldn't you want to do it on purpose, And I had my first realization on this. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. It was really young. It had to be 7 or 8 because, the first 4 to 6 years of your life were in a constant state of hypnosis. We're in alpha down to theta level consciousness. We're not in beta, which is what you and I are in as adults, the conscious thinking. And you don't really have a sense of self at that point. And you kind of need a sense of self and your thinking self to see the distinction that I'm going to talk about in a second. But I think because I had developed a sense of self still really close to those earlier years of being in the alpha, Dr. Rose, that I was looking in the mirror one time and my persona that I had developed, who I was, just melted away. It just went away. It totally collapsed. And my consciousness expanded outward in all directions. And I had this sense, this feeling of being connected to everything, seeing to it through my true self. And this is a spontaneous, I didn't do this on purpose. This was spontaneous. It was looking in the mirror, and it's like you forget who you are, and you're thinking that, who am I? I can't remember. And it just fades away. You connect with your true self, which is beyond that persona, which is the egoic mind that Eckhart Tolle talks about, which is created by the connection between your consciousness and the thinking self, between the brain functioning, the computer, and your external consciousness, and the merging of those two things with thought creates and develops the egoic mind, which develops a persona. And this is a spontaneous happening, and it happened to me really early. Otherwise, I don't think it would have happened. In fact, the older I got, 12 years old, into my teens, it got harder and harder to do this. But because I had done it once, because it had happened through a spontaneous thing at 7 or 8, I was able to make it happen the older I got, even though it was more difficult. So what I'm going to give you is how Eckhart Tolle says to start off, Eckhart Tolle, and it's easier for us adults than trying to get this spontaneous thing to happen. You can still try it. Go in there, look in the mirror, and try to let it just drop away. Stare in your own eyes and think, who am I? And it might happen. It might happen like it happened for me. By the way, this from the central consciousness of self and the consciousness expanding out in all directions, basically a bubble expanding around me. That's actually the basis for the Flower of Life design and the creation of everything going back to before the Big Bang. But that's another radio show.
Tune in next week. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So actually next week we're going into shamanic journeying. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's really easy to do. One of the steps is being in the now. And it's interesting because when I first read his book and started listening to him on TV and so forth, and Oprah and everything, I said, "Oh wait, this is what I experienced when I was 8," you know. And so he always says, no matter what you're doing, I mean, washing the dishes or sweeping the floor, be fully there, invested in what you're doing, not thinking of the past, not thinking into the future. Be there now. So that's one of the first steps. And then, as we mentioned throughout the show here, before you do your mantras, you can do this exercise right before you go to sleep or as soon as you wake up in the morning or any time during the day, really, when you have time, 5 or 10 minutes, is you're just going to be quiet with yourself. And you're going to take some deep breaths, close your eyes. It works better because where are we trying to look? Inside ourselves. So if you have your eyes open, you're still taking in information from the external world. So you want to close your eyes and you want to do some deep breaths. Do some 3 or 4 count ones. That's when you breathe in for a 3 count, hold for a 3 count, breathe out for a 3 count, hold for a 3 count, breathe in for a 3 count, and so forth. Do that for, a few, and then, just, let your breathing go to its normal pace. And all you're going to do in order to start this off is you're just going to observe your breathing. That's it. You're just going to observe your breathing. And the idea is to what's called no mind. You're going to have thoughts. Thoughts are going to come in and drift through and drift out and so forth. And that's perfectly fine. What's important is acknowledge the thought. Pay attention to it for a second. Don't judge it. Make no judgment calls. Don't label it. We love to label things. It's a positive thought. It's a negative thought. You got to do it without judgment. You just got to sit there, let the come in, observe it, let it go out of your mind, and as soon as that happens, go right back to the breathing. Everything is getting back to observing the breathing. And then another thought comes in, observe the thought, no judgment, let it go out, let it drift away. You can even make that happen. As time goes on, you'll get adept at this where you can, put your attention on it, and you can, I don't want to use the word force it, but you can kind of let it drift away. It just drifts out, right. and you go back to your breathing. You go back to noticing every natural breath coming in and going out. Now, at some point, it may happen quickly. It may happen several weeks later or months later, depending on the individual. But you're going to have this realization. Something else, observing the thoughts. Well, wait a minute here. We think of ourselves as the thoughts. I'm thinking. What did Descartes say? I think, therefore I am. We embody our whole persona and what we think of as us as our thoughts and what we're thinking. But wait a minute, there's something else observing the thoughts. The thoughts can't observe the thoughts, if you think of it that way. Some of this might be hard to wrap your head around initially, but you get an intuitive sense of what's going on, where you realize that your true self is this other back here, observing the thinking going on in the front of your mind, letting the thoughts come in and drift back out again. And once you have that aha moment, which is akin to enlightenment or in Japanese satori, and the goal is not to rush it, to have this realization. It's going to come to you. And then once it does, every time you do this meditation, we'll call it a meditation. I don't like to use that word because it's kind of charged, Dr. Rose. I call it just doing this practice, but it's really a meditation. The goal will always to bring yourself back to your true self, observing as the true self, and do that faster and faster each time. Now, this is just the beginning, okay? And we don't have time to go into too much beyond this, you know. But other realizations will come to you as, you know, you're able to faster and faster go back to the true self. You're going to realize that everything you're experiencing in your life, you can even ask your true self or the collective consciousness. That's how we connect to the collective consciousness or the divine, is through our true self. And you can ask questions, you know, and you're going to come to realizations like the fact that we manifest everything, every experience we have comes from us, comes from inside. It's not external things. It's coming from inside us. And that our true purpose is experience. And why we're here. And then to come to the realization of, what am I passionate about? What do I really want to be doing? What do I really want to be manifesting in my life? And then you can use the other techniques like following the steps of the law of attraction, mantras, and so forth, right after you do that 5 or 10 minutes, you know, which may expand up to 15, 20 minutes, even longer as time goes by. But just to begin with, start out with just that 5 or 10 minutes. So there you go. That's connecting with your true self and why. And do you have any thoughts on that, Dr. Rose?
No, I think it's great, actually. I don't have anything much to add. The meditation that you were talking about is really, I actually recommend that for a lot of people to help clear their mind. I usually say, spend 5 minutes relaxing your body, you know, sitting in a comfortable seat or on your bed, but you want to sit upright. You don't want to lie down, and then and spend 5 minutes relaxing every muscle in your body from your head to your toe, and just go through each kind of section of your body. And then the other 5 minutes is like, as you were saying, just, you know, sometimes your mind will go off, but listening to your breathing. Yeah, it's very powerful. I've actually used it myself when I have problems sleeping and I can't seem to get my body rested or whatnot. It's something that I do, and when I do that, I go to sleep, I'm knocked out, you know, because I got too much stuff in my brain. I don't, you know, sometimes it takes time to understand. When you have a lot of traffic going on in your mind, a lot of things on your mind, you know, your mind can think, 60 thoughts in a minute or something like that, then it's really difficult for you to kind of settle down. So, yeah, that's very powerful to, you know, go with what you were talking about. Yeah.
Right, and that's why I told Sandy when she gave us the question from the chat room to listen to the rest of the show, and for Kay and for everybody else listening, you know, that this is one of the first steps. This is going to really help you, and it doesn't matter what you're trying to manifest, because everything we manifest comes from inside us, not outside us.
Right.
And whether it's answers, directions to go into, how to attract your soulmate, how to provide value for other people, how to find your next job, what should your next job be, you know, all these questions that we have, you can get this information. And by the way, there's one other time when we do that's doing it actively. We also do it passively when we go to sleep at night. The conscious thinking mind switches off, and it's just our full mind, our subconscious, which is actually the whole mind, really. Consciousness is, we call it consciousness, but it's all consciousness. It's actually what consciousness, you know, what we call consciousness when we're awake, Rose, is really focused attention and cognitive thinking.
Right.
Yeah, and that fades away, and we're connected directly to our true selves when we're asleep. But we're doing it passively, and that's why we tell you to program your dreams at night, ask questions, because the answers are going to come in your dreams, and you can write it down in your dream journal the next morning when you wake up, or a pad of paper or something like that. You know, just have a pen and paper next to your bed there. And but you can start doing this actively using the Eckhart Tolle's practice on meditation there. So, Dr. Rose, you had a mantra of the week?
So I've been kind of struggling for the past couple of shows about, okay, which mantras am I going to talk about now? And so, and I try to give mantras that are easy to do for people. There are mantras that are like, I don't know, pages long, and, you know, obviously we don't have time to do that. So what I've come up with is I often talk about the book that I receive the mantras from. There's another book, what is it? Healing Mantras is a book that I have talked about. Healing Mantras Using Sound Affirmations for Personal Power, Creativity, and Healing. And that's written by Thomas Ashley Farrand. He has another book, too, that's called Shakti Mantras. He's written a lot of books and has audio programs, too, that can where you chant for certain conditions as well. He has a lot that he has done. He is no longer living on the earth plane, as they say. But there's a book called Shakti Mantras, and this is about tapping into the great goddess energy within you, right? And, you know, I think a lot of times the divine feminine gets really underrated in a lot of ways, and I think it's based on our perception of what a man should be, what a woman should be. And the divine feminine really has nothing to do with that. That's more of us imposing our you know, culture or traditions onto that. But really, the goddesses, especially in the Indian traditions, are extremely powerful. In fact, it is by one of the gurus that I follow, Dr. Bhaskaran Pillai. He says that without the goddess, the god cannot act. The goddess is power. The goddess is energy. And think about it. Without energy, you can't do anything. I mean, as a human being, if you have no energy, you're not going to get out of the bed. You're just going to, you know, maybe you have enough energy to turn from one side to the other kind of thing. So goddess power is actually, or goddess energy, the divine feminine, is really powerful in a lot of ways. And in some traditions, the goddess is the one who is actually the creator, who creates things. And maybe that comes from our idea of women having children and birthing children and things of that nature. Not that she does that all alone by herself. You know, obviously you have to have a seed implanted, but all of the creation takes place in the womb. And so you can think of the goddess as that as well. And so anyway, I'll be giving out goddess mantras for the next few shows. And the first goddess I'd like to focus on. Now, whether or not you believe in the god or the goddess, or you worship or you don't worry about that. Remember, the mantras are sound frequencies. At the base, they are the sound frequencies. And sound frequencies really change things and transforms in your life, not just spiritually, like feeling better, being more at peace. Those are important, but also materially. It can attract your money, your job, your love relationship, and things of that nature. So in some of the Eastern traditions, the mantras or the divine principle or the principle is expressed as a god or goddess or something like that. So that's why I call them goddess mantras or whatnot. I'm going to do one for today. Is Sarasvati. Sarasvati is the goddess of wisdom, intelligence, and I would say higher consciousness. She is a goddess that people often go to for whether it's divine wisdom and knowledge, for education, and I mean like education as in learning in school. She's also the goddess of the arts, such as theater and dancing and artwork. You know, if you do visual art and what have you. So she's the goddess of the arts as well. She's also the goddess of music. Music really is a divine form. We can get into that conversation a little bit later. But, you know, music as well. And so this first mantra actually contains part of her name. The mantra is Om Aim Sarasvatiye Swaha. Om Aim Sarasvatiye Swaha. One more time. Om, I'm, Sarasvatiye, Swaha. And the translation is Om and salutations to the feminine Sarasvati principle. This is a foundational mantra, meaning that all of what she represents, you could use this mantra for. So, for example, parents out there who have children who are not doing well in school, okay, and, we certainly have that kind of issue going on in the United States right now with online schools happening. Some people saying that it's working. Some people are saying that it's not. Parents are concerned about, their child's education. So one thing that you can do, if you're a parent of a child, that means a young child, you can actually chant, a mantra on their behalf, right? Because you guys are family and families often share the same karma, whatever. But it's okay to do it for a child that you're caring for and what have you. If you are, we don't recommend that you do this for another adult because you'll take on their karma, and a lot of people don't want to do that. But with a child you're taking care of, you're there anyway. You're dealing with their karma and yours. So anyway, you can use this mantra to help your child do better in school, and you can chant it on their behalf, okay? And then what you want to do with that particular practice is just to state before I'm chanting this mantra on behalf of, and, name your child so that they can do better in school. And that's all you need is a simple sentence like that. And then do Om, I'm, Sarasvatiye, Swaha. Do that 108 times in one session if you can. If not, you can split it up. It shouldn't take that long. Maybe I would say 10 minutes, 15, depending upon how fast your repetition is. And it really helps. You will find that your child will get better in school. Now, if you are the person in school, like let's say you're a college student, you can chant this mantra to do better in school so that you learn things better. You can retain more information, And then some people use it for more of divine wisdom, your spirituality, right? You want to know more. You want more divine consciousness or input into your life. Maybe you want to get deeper into Christianity. Maybe you want to get deeper into Hinduism. Maybe you want to get deeper into whatever religious practice or spiritual practice that you're doing. You can still chant Om Aim Sarasvatiye Swaha. You don't have to be Hindu to chant mantras, just to let you guys know. They're open to everyone. So that's what I'm putting out there for today. So the mantra for Sarasvati, who is the goddess of wisdom and intelligence, of education, music, and the art, you want to chant Om Aim Sarasvatiye Swaha. And that's the mantra for the day.
Awesome, Rose. And you're on a roll. Why don't you do the upcoming shows coming up on the Psychic Talk Network, and then we might have time for another call. Go ahead.
Okay. So the upcoming shows for Psychic Talk, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, we have Tarot Today Radio with hosts Mary Brown and Dax Carlisle. And they will have open lines and tarot mini readings along with the show. And the topic is the question we are most asked about the tarot. Okay? The question we are most asked about the tarot. So that's tomorrow, Saturday, July 11th. On Sunday, coming up, July 12th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, you have Magic Universe with Sharona Rapsick. And she has a special guest named Jessie Driscoll, who will be talking about the Crystal Skull Tarot. That's kind of cool. That reminds me of some of the, well, I'm not going to go into it. Some would be offensive. But I love the skulls. Like I love skulls and crystal skulls. I've never seen that deck before. So that's going to be an exciting show. And that's on Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific. On Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, we have Wisdom of the Soul show with host Janice Fuchs. And then on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, we have the Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance Hour with Catherine Hahn, and she will be doing the True and Authentic You, Part 2. And that's very much in alignment with what we're talking about, being your true self. So if you want to hear a little bit more about how to be the true and authentic you, and this is Part 2, you want to definitely tune into Catherine Hahn's 11 a.m. Pacific show on Wednesday, which is July 15th. And then Friday, again, we will have the Doctors Are In show with yours truly, Rose Wilkerson, and Dax Carlisle. And we're going to be talking about shamanic journeying for the next 3 shows. And I'll talk about the middle world and what that is. There are 3 worlds, generally speaking, when you're dealing with shamanism or shamanic journeying. Some people understand it as visualizing and, meditation, visualizing type of thing. I'll talk about that. I'll set up an introduction about what that is and then describe what the middle world is. And I'm actually going we'll set up I'll set up a very short meditation so that you can connect to the middle world. Maybe something about 5, maybe 8 minutes stacked. And we're going to try to get some shamanic drumming to go with it, so it'll be exciting.
Yeah.
You want to make sure, though, that while we're doing that, you're not driving or doing any kind of activity that really requires your focused attention, especially something like driving. And because we're going to have drumming, sometimes that puts people into a light trance. So I'm going to recommend that you not listen to it while you're doing something like that. You could always turn the volume down, wait about 5 minutes, turn it back up when we start talking, when we go back to talking. But during that meditation, you definitely want to be in a space, if you can meditate, maybe close your eyes a little bit, and participate.
Right.
So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait because I know nothing about shamanic journeying. I know that Mary Brown works with shamanism, and so do you, but I totally am ignorant, so I can't wait to learn about this stuff. And, it's 3 shows of it. It's going to be really fascinating. Of course, we'll have open lines and take your calls as well on those shows. And if we don't get to your call today, remember, I'm going to be on tomorrow with Mary, and we're doing open lines and tarot mini readings. And the question we're most often asked about the tarot.
Wow.
The next couple of shows on Tarot Today are actually a little bit tongue-in-cheek, like Saturday the 18th. Is tarot ruining your life? There is a reason for it, but it is kind of tongue-in-cheek, the next couple of shows, the question we're most asked about tarot. Okay. So if we don't get your call, call in tomorrow. We'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Let's see who's been waiting the longest. Looks like area code 856. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? 856.
Hi, it's Rosemaria.
Oh, Rosemaria, how you been?
Fine, how are you?
Pretty good.
Hey.
What's new with you? What's going on?
Same thing, different day, and a lot on my plate, and trying to manifest, and some stuff is coming through, some stuff it's not, if that makes sense. So whatever you coming up with, it's coming up for the next month or so, or at the end of the month. So whatever's coming up for me.
Let's see. Okay, so it looks like work-wise, career-wise, or financially, something along those lines, things are a little bit slow-moving right now. I'm getting that.
Right.
Yep. And then the card after that is a clue what to do. It's the moon card, and the moon is connected to psychic ability, intuition, awakening, dreams, strange experiences, feminine power, self-deception. Because there's an element of, we don't see things as clearly in moonlight as we do in sunlight. Shadows are cast, okay? So it's kind of about clearing that up and seeing the path forward. And basically, what we mentioned earlier in the show, programming the dreams. You can get the answers to solving these issues, programming your dreams at night and having a pad and pen, sitting next to you on your nightstand. So when you wake up in the morning, write down everything to remember, and just keep doing that each night. 3-4 days to 7-8 days. Somewhere within a week, you're gonna start to piece stuff together. It could kind of give you a clue. The central focus card is the Knight of Wands. And Wands, of course, is the element of fire, following your passions. The Knight of Wands gallops off with his wand towards what his goals are around passion. That's really, over the next month, where your focus should be. Get more in attune with your passions, the things that really make your eyes light up. I think that connects with the financial career issues that you need to be true to yourself. Dr. Rose, there's that true self thing again. Do the practices we described on the show here. Get in connection with your true self, your authentic self. You'd probably benefit from listening, go back in archive and listen to last Monday's show and this coming Monday, and it's basically the last 3 or 4 shows of July. Catherine is doing shows on this, as Dr. Rose just told us, and listen. You'll benefit listening to what she has to say here. But the tarot cards are talking about, you really got to get into connection with this. And remember, I keep saying that that's where real success comes from, is following your passions in life and connecting them to the skills and abilities you have so you create value for other people. And it doesn't matter whether you don't have, we always push people towards doing this for themselves as an entrepreneur. That's where everything's going. Within the next 20 years, people won't be working for companies. We're going to be independent contractors. Okay, so whether it's your current job or your next job, or whether you create a business for yourself, it doesn't matter. You still got to get into connection with this. What's your passions, and then the rest of the month, like the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, 8 is abundance. Abundance will come if you do all these things. The dream journaling, the Eckhart Tolle connecting to your true self exercise, the mantras. If you do all this, you're going to, and follow your passions and try to make that connection between your skills and abilities, your true passions, and how do I create value for other people. Then the abundance starts to flow. There's that 8 of Pentacles, and hard work. He's developing his skills more and more. He's getting better all the time. And he's enjoying himself working diligently at this. So that's, if you don't have a smile on your face and love every minute of what you're doing, you're not in the right job, or you're not in the right career aspect. And then finally, at the very end, the Knight of Cups. Boy, there's a lot of knights. And knight cards are about, it's the number 22, the Master Builder number. It's about establishing foundations for things, okay? So the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Wands is talking about your career, your finances, taking this next month to work on all that, establish foundations. Towards the end of the month, the Knight of Cups, that's love coming in. That's the romantic dreamer. He's empathic, intelligent, but kind of restless, artistic. This may be indicating the type of person that might be, if you're already married or if you're already dating somebody, you can create a stronger connection. If you're not, this is an indication that, hey, that might actually be headed your way. And Cups is emotions. It's the water element. I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about a Cancer or a Scorpio or a Pisces. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So that's what's coming up in the cards for you, Rosemaria.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you for taking my call.
Awesome. And what a great note to end the show on there, Dr. Rose.
That's right. This is a lovely show today. Lots of great information.
Tons of great information, great calls. I liked all the calls, and I can't wait till next week. Shamanic Journeying. Well, thanks, everybody, for being here.
Right.
Thanks to all our listeners and our callers and folks in the chat room. And, we wouldn't have a show without you. And be sure to stop by our sponsor's website, thetarotguild.com, and you can join free. Click sign up in the top of any page on your phone or pad or your computer there, and you can use your social media accounts. You can just sign up, and it's a couple of questions, pop in a profile picture, and you're good to go. And you can take advantage of all those great features. You can friend other people. You can private message with them. You can go to the groups and the forums and so forth. And, of course, there's our premium membership and our, if you're new to tarot and numerology, there's our Tarot by the Numbers course there as well. Go check all that out at thetarotguild.com. Thanks for another great show, and we'll see you next week, Dr. Rose.
See you next week, everybody. See you next week, Dax. Have a wonderful week.
Weekend, too, yeah. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.